Good evening, Keystone. We are going to open the special meeting for interviews for the candidate for Region 4.
Before we get started with the meeting, we have heard that one of our board members, Tom Cannon, passed away last night. And it's with great sorrow that I bring this news to you and our condolences to his family and those who knew him. We have deep respect for Tom and the work that he did to serve our nation and the work that he did to serve our community as a board member with KCSD. So as we stand to do a flag salute and a moment of silence, please keep Tom and his family and his loved ones in mind. Thank you.
Beautifully well done. Thank you. Flag salute, please, and a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. I deeply appreciate that. Okay. B1, hearing of visitors. Oh, roll call vote. I'm so sorry. Just give me a moment. I really deeply enjoyed Tom. He was very kind to me. Okay. Hearing, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino?
Here.
Ms. Bohartz? Here. Ms. Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Scapp?
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you very much. Okay, B1, hearing of visitors. We have one person signed up, Andrew Wolf. Would you please come to the microphone? Thank you very much. And for public comment, you have 4 minutes, and please address the board during that time and on the agenda, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Wolf. I'm a 9th grader here at Central Mountain High School. As you consider these candidates, I ask that you please reflect on the values that these candidates uphold and present. While fiscal responsibility and penny pinching can often be the main focus of the board and prospective members. However, holding the well-being and education of students should always be the top priority. As you are, first and foremost, an educational institution. Please think of students like myself when you are making vital decisions like these. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's no one else, correct? Okay, thank you. Item C1, introduction and procedures. Special meeting to interview eligible candidates for Region 4 vacancy. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 2 of the special public meetings to interview and then appoint the Region 4 school board representative. During the interview and voting process, we request all in attendance to please mute your cell phones. Video recording is permitted, or you can watch recorded Keystone Central School District Public School Board meetings on Keystone Central School District's YouTube channel page. No additional individuals will be considered or interviewed for this position. Thank you for your cooperation. Interview order. There are 3 eligible for Region School Board vacancies: Kevin Ferrara, Jason Smith, and Heather Yost. When called, the 3 candidates will come forward and select 1 card from this unopened deck of cards. Candidates will be interviewed in the order of the card's value. Aces have the highest value and 2 the lowest. Candidates, please come forward and choose your card. We're not doing jokers. I'm going to shuffle them once. Tuck them, please. Thank you. Please just take one, please. Thank you. Heather?
Oh, we had two.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Kevin? Yes, so hard to pick just one. Okay, please show your cards, and that's the order. Please read the order, please, and the value.
Queen, 5, and 10.
So what is the order of the candidates, please?
Jason would be first, Mr. Ferrara would be second, and Heather would be, Miss Yost, would be third.
Okay, wonderful. You can just place your cards here. Thank you so much.
Oh, the interview questions.
Candidates, please take a seat in the audience while the interview procedure is explained. Thank you for your patience. All the candidates will answer questions in 3 minutes or less. I will hold up a card, or the secretary will hold up a card when you have 30 seconds remaining. During the interview and at any time, we can repeat the question. Please ask. Questions will be asked by board members in attendance. We'll go around the room. Candidate 1 will be interviewed first, followed by candidates 2 and 3. Jason will be first, Kevin, and then Heather. Candidates 2 and 3 are requested to leave the room and wait in the hallway so no one has an unfair advantage. When it's your turn to be interviewed, the secretary will let you know. After your interview, you can join the audience. Jason, would you please come up and take a seat? And the other 2 candidates, Kevin and Heather, would you be so kind? And then we'll close the door. Thank you. Good evening, Kevin, and thank you for submitting your application for the Region 4 school board vacancy. Please answer each question in 3 minutes or less. Before we begin, is there anything else you'd like to know?
No, it's pretty
Okay.
self-explanatory.
Do you want to come the questions?
You want to hand the candidate the questions?
Yeah, they're right there.
So something to refer to.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
Elizabeth, do Bill and Manny have questions also?
Well, this is just for the interviewer. The procedure for voting will be next,
Okay.
at the next meeting. Oh, you have one for each. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
And you emailed the questions out to the rest of the board.
Mhm.
That's what I just asked her.
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
received it. Mhm. Okay, thank you. All right. I'll start first and then we'll go around the room. Okay. Number 1, greatest achievement. Tell us about your proudest professional or personal accomplishment and how you achieved it. For example, what was the situation, the goal, did you work independently or as a team, and what was achieved?
As a technician, an ongoing issue we always deal with is continuing education. And so I was in the IT field for over about 7-8 years and was informed that I would have to pursue further certification in the IT security realm. So my greatest professional achievement was achieving my CISSP, where I had to basically undertake 6 to 8 months. It was about 7 months of continuing study and training. Was averaging, I think, 20 to 30 study hours a week in preparation for that. It is a certification that is only given to people, what we consider middle management technicians, people who are moving up, and it involves everything from workflows to working with individuals. It is a very intense moment, and it was able to open up a lot of opportunities, of course, in my profession, but also open up a lot of understanding of how to incorporate security into larger environments, including organizations, businesses, as well as interpersonal and as well as interpersonal security. So for me, again, there's a couple others I would cite, but that was my greatest achievement because it required the most work, the most off the hours that I could do. And I learned that there is a lot that I'm able to learn if given and properly motivated, which I was very much so and still am.
Thank you. John, would you please read question number 2?
Thanks for coming. Community outreach and service. Describe your experience managing or working with volunteers in a community service or board culture. What was the community's need? What was your role? And what new teamwork skills did you gain from the experience?
So I've done a lot of community service, a lot of it through, of course, faith outreach. You know, I'm involved in local churches, everything from packing shoe boxes with presents and care packages. Been doing that for pretty much my entire life. Role has always been that of being an assistant. I've always been somebody who is willing to step in and whatever it is, whether it's carting boxes to the truck, being available to just be a helping hand. I've also been involved a lot with local candidates who are reaching out to their communities, or local elected officials from supervisors to county commissioners. And again, being an assistant, I'd say my role there largely has been somebody who volunteers and is able to do everything from setting up tables to working with the person to get them to meet the crowd. And again, coming back to a lot of the church outreach, just giving them my time and my hours. You learn to work with a lot of people because sometimes, even though it's volunteering, people tend to get stressed. And so you just kind of learn to keep an eye on the objective. Like, we're here to do a good thing. We're here to help. We're here to better. And so you just kind of, if someone's having a difficult time, you just learn to work with it. And you learn not to take it personally. Not saying that there's been incredible moments but I'd say there has been some moments where there was some confrontation, but you learn to keep an eye on the larger goal, which is usually service to your community. I'd reference a lot of the interaction with our local elected officials and a lot of interaction I've had through the church community and the faith communities and the variety of food box outreaches that have been done through our local communities, largely right here in Clinton County.
Thank you. Please, Shelby, number 3.
Reaching team goals under difficult situations. Tell us about a time when you worked closely with someone whose personality and viewpoints are incompatible from your own, yet the work was completed successfully. Please, no names, just a summary of the situation and the communication skills or methods you used or learned.
So I was expected to, this was in part of a work procedure, but I was providing compliance consulting. So I was taking a business who was trying to meet a level of federal standards within cybersecurity, interpersonal work. And I was sitting across the table from a representative of the other business I was working with. And the goal was to try to get their business to be compliant. And there was, shall we say, a difference of opinion in how interpretations of the compliance were. So in the sense of, my goal was to provide the best information that I had to this person and to ensure that it was stated as clearly as possible and for the record, but also recognizing this person had his own agency and did not have to hire my counsel. There was definitely some strong differences of an opinion. And for me, what I learned there is I'm here to do the best job that I know how, but also recognizing and respecting that this person does not have to agree with me. Ultimately, it came to a point where I say things tilted in his direction. And for me, it was like, okay, I felt confident and satisfied that I had performed my duties and my tasks. So that was largely within a work environment, but I do remember clearly that was a very interesting situation because it came down to differences on how we read the requirements.
Thank you. Chris?
Excluding budgetary and financial matters, What do you believe is a topic or issue the KCSD school board member team should consider adding to their annual list of priority goals and why?
Okay, so this is kind of a passionate moment for me. Again, I'm in technology and I am really looking at, of course, everyone's talking about artificial intelligence. Everyone's looking at how it can be implemented in society, businesses, teaching. And so for me, having a forward-looking goals as to how can this be used to maybe assist teachers? How can this be used to assist teaching students? Being aware of the dangers of it, because this is a world that our children are going to come up into. And so recognizing that, it's not just a wondrous technology, it has a large share of risks, just like all the technology we've introduced so far. But to me, I really see like having, first off, preparing our kids to meet this world. Both not being afraid to use it in a sense, but also having some very good safeguards emotionally, mentally, academically, as well as, hey, is this something that can be used within the operation of the school and to its betterment? But at the same time, recognizing that it's not the same as discussing things with, say, a lawyer or something of somebody who is actually a professional, giving it its place, but being on guard for its disadvantages. To me, that's something that I feel it's already upon us, but having the school, having a forward-looking perspective on that, I think would be of great benefit.
Thank you. Bill and Manny, would you like to ask a question from there? Otherwise, we'll stay at the table. I don't want to let you not feel like you're part of the situation. Do you want us just to go ahead around the table here?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Oh, I can read number 5 here if you want.
Yes, number 5. Thank you very much.
Please, number 5, please answer yes or no. School board regular meetings usually occur on the first and second Thursday of each month, sometimes beginning at 5 p.m. Do you have any known conflicts that would prohibit you from regularly attending?
I will say, as a matter of record, I have no problem with 5 p.m. I do get off work at 4 p.m. and I'm driving from Williamsport to get here, so I can make it, but it's tight. To me, like 5:30 would be the sweet spot. So I will say officially, yes, I have I have no problem with meeting at 5 p.m. And I have no conflicts to stop me from doing that.
Okay, thank you. Number 6, representing your constituents' voice. To identify the concerns of your constituents, what is your community outreach communication plan?
I do see myself utilizing social media to some degree. I actually even see myself setting up a personal like Facebook page, not necessarily my personal page, but something that's more of a a separate page, dedicated to allowing people to come through me through, of course, social media. I know the school probably sets up an email address for public use of that nature as well. And I don't know if door to door will be as necessary, though I do see myself interacting a lot more locally than I have already. But I do, so starting kind of on a social media side, letting people know this is who I am, I'm out here, this is a public means to have discourse, communicate. Also, I'll be available via email, also I'll make my phone available, et cetera. Practical things. And I believe as my name gets out there, I'll be able to interact more personally, individually with parents as they, bring concerns. And again, because I work probably during the day, it'll take place mostly during the evenings. But that's how I see it happening. Start in social media, make sure that phone number and email is made available. And then as I get to interact more and more with people that I don't already know, be able to schedule time and make time to be with them and hear their concerns in person.
Thank you. John, would you like to read number 7, please?
Oh, yeah, 1 second, please.
No, that's fine. Take your time.
Number 7. Last question, budgeting and cost reductions. Together, the school board members, teams continuously evaluate monthly and annual budgets and financial reports. Tell us about a time when you worked on a budget to reduce cost. What was the procedure and process you used, and what was the result?
So typically, when I work on budgets, it's usually in the concept of presenting projects to customers as far as this is proposed work we want to do, and this is the amount that we're suggesting it costs. And then you have that interaction with the customer as to what is viable, what is not. And it always comes down to the same process. What is critical? What is absolutely critical for the business to operate? Is if something were to not get paid, if something were to go down, how much impact does that have on the business? And this goes everything from, again, focusing largely on IT systems, but also interpersonal communication, things of that nature. So once you identify what's most critical, and of course, what are your objectives for the business, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's nonprofit, providing services to the communities, you usually focus on the top 3 items that just like these are things that have to be addressed. And you start kind of like, well, these are still critical, but they're not as, and you prioritize critical, important, nice to have, non-essential. And that's usually the same process I would do with any other type of financial budgeting. As long as you can recognize what absolutely has to stay and hopefully be able to prioritize what is within the vision of the organization, it's better able to try to parse out maybe what you don't absolutely need or can wait on and address hopefully next year.
Well, thank you very much. For your interest in joining the school board, please feel free to have a seat in the audience.
Thank you.
Secretary Christine, number 2, please. Kevin Ferrara. Okay. Okay. Good evening, Kevin Farrar, and thank you for submitting your application for the Region 4 School Board vacancy. Please answer each question in 3 minutes or less. Before we begin, is there any questions you may have?
I have no questions.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll start here and we'll work around the table to ask the questions. Do you have here's a copy? You have a copy?
Yeah, it was setting here, so I'm assuming
Oh,
same
sure.
questions.
That was kind of him to do that. That was very kind. Okay, thank you. First question. Greatest achievement. Tell us about your proudest professional or personal accomplishment and how you achieved it. For example, what was the situation, the goal? Did you work independently or as a team? And what was achieved, please?
Hey, great question. I would have to say greatest achievement would be my service in the military. Before I retired, I actually had 3 goals. Retire at 20 years, retire with a master's degree, and make the rank of master sergeant. So my team was basically my fire chief, who was a great mentor to me. Retired chief master sergeant and a civilian. Sat me down, mentored me, put me on the right path as a young tech sergeant at the time, and said, these are the things that you need to do. Focus on positive things, focus on your goals, and then, work hard for those. So,
it was quite a struggle between working active duty military and going to Penn State World Campus online. So I was taking online degrees, active duty, deploying, and I think Dr. Redmond knows with his military service how daunting that can be, and you know, it's pretty tough, you know, to get an education while, you know, you're in the military, especially when you deploy. So I think that was my proudest professional accomplishment. And you know, I think personal, you know, is you know, getting married and having a family and supporting my son who's grown up to be you know, a role model to me, and he's now a paramedic, and you know, he's on the right track to you know, do great things. So
Thank you very much. John, would you please read question number 2?
Hello, Kevin. Thanks for coming. Community outreach and service. Describe your experience managing or working with volunteers in a community service or board culture. What was the community need? What was your role? And what new teamwork skills did you gain from the experience?
well, thanks, John. Another great question. A lot of my experience managing, working with volunteers, not necessarily in local community, but more of a national and global community, especially in the fire service. I've got 36 years in the fire service. So right now I work with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. I work with National Fire Protection Association. I work with various cancer research institutes and programs. So, you know, that's, I get a little bit more, I guess, satisfaction out of, you know, broadening my spectrum and helping, you know, not just local individuals, but on a global scale. You know, the greater amount of people I can impact and see those results, that gives me, you know, a greater sense of satisfaction and you know, accomplishment, knowing that, hey, you know, what I'm doing and what I'm passing on has a positive effect to a great many people who also share that. The community need, especially with the Cancer Institute, you know, we're looking at, you know, reduction in cancer, you know, education, prevention, everything like that. And then those teamwork skills that we gain from that is communication, collaboration, team building, you know, community involvement. Those are the big ones, and that's where I incorporate my community economic development degree and skills from that, is to bring people together for the common good.
Thank you. Shelby, when you're ready. Number 3.
Reaching a team's goal under difficult situations. Tell us about a time when you worked closely with someone whose personality and viewpoints are incompatible from your own, yet the work was completed successfully. Please, no names, just a summary of the situation and the community skills or methods you used or learned.
Thanks, Shelby. These are great questions. I would have to say, going back to my military experience, you know, we focus on the mission. Mission comes first. There's a lot of differences in opinions, personality. You know, should we do this? Should we do that? And you're acting with, you know, with seconds. You got to make snap decisions to accomplish that mission. But you just have to be able to be willing to make personal sacrifices, concede some of your personal viewpoints, and look at the 30,000-foot view, you know, and say, look, you know, can we all come together and accomplish this mission? You know, we're not going to get everything that we want. Otherwise the world wouldn't be what it is today. But at least, you know, come together, you know, can make some, you know, concessions on, you know, what we need to do and what we want to do. And then, you know, after the mission's accomplished, then we would always call it a hot wash, set back and say, okay, what could we have done better? look at best practices and then focus on the next mission. And, I think with the school board, that's the thing, is to bring everybody together. We're going to have, you all have a difference of opinions, which is good. I mean, everybody learns from that and feeds off of that. So, but at the end of the day, like I believe Andrew had said, focus on the students. And that is the mission, focus on the students, make them better than, what they were yesterday, always being better every day. And when you accomplish that, they're smiling, you're smiling, and the district is prosperous.
Thank you very much. Chris, would you please read number 4?
Yeah. Excluding budgetary and financial matters. What do you believe is a topic or issue the KCSD school board member team should consider adding to their annual list of priority goals, and why?
Thanks for that question, Chris. Yeah, excluding budgetary and financial matters, I mean, that's an everyday issue, but I think the topic of issue, again, going back to what Andrew, the young gentleman, got up here and said, focus on the students. That's why we're here. That's why the school board is here. That's why the stakeholders are here that support the school board. Without the students, you wouldn't be here. The school wouldn't be here. So, it's you just like in the military, we had recruitment and retention. We have to recruit young minds to come to Keystone Central School District. We have to entice them to come here, give them, every opportunity to excel. And when you do that, they're going to stay. They're going to tell their friends, say, hey, Keystone Central was awesome. Their friends, hey, move into the district, come up to the school, and share in the enjoyment. So I think that really has to be, for me personally, I think that's the number one priority is, focus on, the retention, the recruiting and retention. And with that, when I said, with the opportunities, if the kids are happy, I think they're going to excel. Their grades are going to come up. When morale is low, in anything, you're going to see, a reduction in productivity. But you as the board have the opportunity to give them every opportunity they have to excel.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Manning, number 5, please.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you for coming, Kevin. Please answer yes or no. School board regular meetings usually occur on the first and second Thursday of each month, sometimes beginning at 5 p.m. Do you have any known conflicts that would prohibit you from regularly attending?
I'm retired and work for myself, so I have no conflicts.
Okay, thank you. All right, question number 6, please. Representing your constituents' voice, to identify the concerns of your constituents, what is your community outreach communication plan?
Great question, Madam President. First and foremost, I mean, email is simple, telephone calls is simple, but I think really getting out there face to face, just like in any campaign, knock on doors, introduce oneself to the constituents, the region that you represent. When they put a face to a name, I think they open up a little bit more. It becomes more familiar. They then recognize who they can reach out to. I think that's extremely important, is to get out there and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm here for you. I represent you. So any issues that you have, here's my contact information. And then, have frequent, town halls, so some type of meetings of something to where you can interact with the folks in your region, and sustain that communication. That's the important thing is, once you establish that, you have to maintain and keep it going. Don't just do it once or twice and then forget about it, because your constituents they'll remember that.
Thank you very much. Question number 7, whenever you're ready, John.
Okay. Last question. Budgeting and cost reductions. Together, the school board member team continuously evaluate monthly and annual budgets and financial reports. Tell us about a time when you worked on a budget to reduce cost. What was the procedure or process you used, and what was the results?
Thanks for the question, John. So again, just going back to my military career, I worked on annual budgets in the fire service, multi-million-dollar budgets, in particular for personal protective equipment. We would sit down, we would look at the equipment, the assets, determine, did we have excess, did we not have enough? We would audit that equipment and the budgets, and look at, we would usually have a small team that would work on this. And just, sit down and determine, were cuts necessary? Were they short on funds? Were they short on equipment? So, we would meet quarterly, and then it became monthly, and then it became weekly down to almost a daily towards the end. And the result was, we saved the Air Force over $1 million a year annually in taxpayer dollars. So they didn't have to, spend more money on than what was necessary. And that transition when I went to the Pentagon, so it went from the Air Force, our command up to the Pentagon to the entire Air Force. And I worked on similar budgets there that, 10 times, the return for taxpayers. So.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. For your interest in joining the school board, please feel free to take a seat in the audience.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And Secretary Christine, candidate number 3, Heather Yost.
Questions there, so.
So she doesn't have to make? Oh, thank you. That was, put that in the policy. Just a minute, please, Heather. Sure. Thank you. Okay. Good evening, Heather Yost.
Good evening.
And thank you for submitting your application for the Region 4 school board vacancy. Please answer each question in 3 minutes or less. Before we begin, is there any questions you have from us?
I don't believe so. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
we're going to go around the table. Each of us will ask a question, and you have 3 minutes, and then Christine will be in charge just in case you get a little close.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 1. Greatest achievement. Tell us about your proudest professional or personal accomplishment and how you achieved it. For example, what was the situation, the goal? Did you work independently or as a team, and what was achieved?
Well, I definitely have to say there's a tie between personally and professionally. I consider some of my greatest achievements to be my children, of which I have 5, and they're all wonderful, unique people. But professionally, I would say becoming a certified nurse midwife. I right out of high school, did never consider nursing as a profession. I just didn't have anyone in my family who are nurses. I was like first generation college, attendee. So it just wasn't anything that we really talked about. And so I started out as a psychology major, which I, still love, and pre-med. But then when I had my first son, I realized that maybe that path wasn't the right one for me. And during my pregnancy with him, I saw Nurse Midwives for Care and thought like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do with my life. So I became a certified nursing assistant, and then an LPN, and then an RN, and then, finally achieved my master's in nursing in a 3-year master's program. and all the while, with having small children and working full time as a nurse at all the various levels. So it was, a rough road for sure, but definitely something that I believe strongly in and really wanted to do. So did achieve that, and then spent 12 years of my career working as a nurse midwife, which was a super rewarding part of my career. Most recently now have gotten a full-time faculty position at Penn State, which I'm also super proud of, and kind of just work-life balance, wanted to make a shift from direct healthcare to now teaching future nurses. So I just started that this January, and I'm really proud to have that role as well.
Okay. Question number 2, John, please.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Community outreach and service. Describe your experience managing or working with volunteers in a community service or board culture. What was the community's need? What was your role, and what new teamwork skills did you gain from the experience?
Well, first of all, I've always been someone since I was like a teen and very young person, been somebody who would like to volunteer for things in my community. Most recently, though, here in Clinton County, a group of like-minded individuals and myself formed the Clinton County Community Assembly. Because we saw a need in our community with the reduction and the holding of the SNAP benefits, and knowing that so many of our folks in Clinton County receive SNAP benefits and are under the poverty line, especially like our students and young people. So we, kind of just really fast hit the ground running and started the pop-up food pantry that we've been holding every Sunday since that time, first at Triangle Park and then now at City Hall. For folks to come and get food. We've been just a grassroots organization with no bylaws and paperwork, and we all just kind of put our heads together and took off. We had 2 meetings and then started the pop-up, which has been really successful, and we've had a ton of community support. So both my husband and I participate in that every week, and then meetings in between for planning, and we've done a lot of side projects. So we don't anticipate the pop-up pantry being our only role in the community. We want to reach out and do more broad projects as we get more members, and the need maybe becomes a little less, hopefully, for the food insecurity around here. So,
Shelby, whenever you're ready, number 3, please.
Reaching a team's goal under difficult situations. Tell us about a time when you worked closely with someone whose personality and viewpoints are incompatible from yours, yet the work was completed successfully. Please no names, just a summary of the situation and the communication skills or methods you used or learned.
I think I do this in most facets of my life as well. In healthcare, of course, not everybody has the same views. You may work with other nurses or doctors or healthcare providers that have different opinions on either practice or budget or anything like that. And, keeping in mind who it is that we're serving, I think is super important, no matter what role that is. In this most recent group, we are people from all different backgrounds and walks of life and politics and everything that just saw a need in the community. And we put our heads together to see what we could come up with. So I think that that's super important. We've had great community support, and our whole point was to not ask anyone how they're politically affiliated, promote any sort of, politics. We just want to help people in our community and help our neighbors. So I think it's important to meet common goals, such as school board, to, do that in like a nonpartisan way, with no relevance to like somebody's background or belief system, as long as you're united all for the common goal. So I think it's important to just hear everyone out, and sometimes solutions that other people have are better than the ones that that I do. So I'm humble enough to realize that.
Okay, thank you very much. Chris, when you're ready, number 4, please.
Yep. Thanks for coming also. Excluding budgetary and financial matters, What do you believe is a topic or issue the KCSD school board member team should consider adding to their annual list of priority goals, and why?
As a mom of kids that are in and have been in the district, unfortunately, and I've heard from others, other parents as well, a tremendous amount of like bullying that's going on in the schools. And I think that like safety, both emotional and physical, of our children should be paramount. Especially this day and age where we see so much violence. So that's something that I would like to see be given a priority. My son in particular attended here for a year and unfortunately didn't feel safe, even though there was support from school administrators and everything. And I felt that they handled things to the best of what they had at the time. He didn't feel safe to come back. So he's spending his senior year at a different school where he isn't as happy curriculum wise necessarily, but he did not feel that he should be forced into like an online forum or something because other kids couldn't be held accountable for their actions and bullying. So that's something that's definitely near and dear to my heart, especially since I know other families who've taken their kids out of the system for that reason too.
Thank you. Manny, when you're ready, number 5, please.
Thank you for coming. Please answer yes or no. School board regular meetings usually occur on the first and second Thursday of each month, sometimes beginning at 5 p.m. Do you have any known conflicts that would prohibit you from regularly attending?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Number 6, representing your constituents' voice. To identify the concerns of your constituents, what is your community outreach communication plan?
This is something I have a lot of experience with too, whether it's just taking a survey, going door to door, talking to people at public events, all sorts of different outreach I've done, whether it's, for election time or special projects. If I don't know how to do something, I know a lot of people that do, like for communications, for example, and getting flyers made or Facebook postings made. So I definitely value hearing the opinions of the people, especially in a position like this. Like we're literally, usually elected to serve, except for in these cases of appointment. But I ran for city council when I lived in Scranton for 6 years as well, and that was kind of an opening that they didn't foresee coming. So it was a very short timeline for having to get candidates on the ballot, and spent a lot of time doing town halls and special interest groups and just going door to door and talking to people there. So I just, you can't know what the people want if you don't ask them. And you have to meet them where they're at, so if people don't have internet access, then maybe the only way is to go to where they are, whether that's at work or home, to talk to them and just give them the opportunity to have a voice rather than resigning themselves to thinking that they don't have one.
Thank you very much. Okay. John, number 7, please, when you're ready.
Last question. Budgeting and cost reductions. Together, the school board member team continuously evaluate monthly and annual budgets and financial reports. Tell us about a time when you worked on a budget to reduce cost, and what was the procedure or process you used, and what was the result?
I guess I'll use that most recent example of my time with the Clinton County Community Assembly. Like we're all about budget and how to maximize our very limited dollars right now. We're trying to, have nonprofit status eventually so that maybe we can get more donations, but right now it's kind of week to week, like, okay, how do we still serve these people and what do we do and how do we make the dollars stretch? What did we bring in? What are some strategies we can use? So brainstorming for fundraising, I think, is like super important, and for maybe allocating funds that aren't needed in one place to something that's a higher priority project. Less recently, I was involved in opening a ground up childbirth center in Scranton. That's what I moved there for, is to open for Geisinger a childbirth center that didn't exist to begin with. So it was literally nothing. They had no labor and delivery services there whatsoever. So it was, what are the key priorities that we need to budget for, both to draw people in and to provide care safely. How many staff can we have to balance safety and work-life balance, that sort of thing. So I was involved in a lot of planning of that unit also. And I am not by nature like a numbers person myself. I would never want to be like treasurer or accountant, but I've been involved in like a lot of the discussion having and the researching of things that do cost money, and that's more like my forte, but relying on the strength of those that are numbers people to make joint decisions.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This concludes the special public meeting to interview eligible candidates. The second special public voting meeting will commence shortly. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Would anyone like to take a break before we start? Welcome back. The special meeting for voting to appoint the Region 4 representative. Appointment, motion, and vote procedures. Today we're going to appoint the Region 4 member from a pool of 3 candidates. Jason, Kevin, and Heather. Sorry. A board member will second, board will debate, and then the board members will voice vote for their preferred candidate. The vote. Voice ballot. Each board member will be called upon to state their preferred candidate by their full name. When 4 or more members state the same name, the candidate has the majority vote and is the Region 4 appointed school board director. The process concludes, and the new board member will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's completed statement of financial interest. Ideally, the appointee will be sworn in during the February 5th, 2026 school board meeting. When no candidate attains 4 or more majority voice votes, the 2 candidates with the 2 greatest number of voice votes will be considered and proceed. The 3rd lowest scoring candidate does not proceed to the next vote. If a tie occurs, and within reason, the motions will be made and voting will continue until one candidate is chosen. This process for a tie will be explained at that time if needed. After multiple attempts, if the board fails to find a consensus, a majority of 4 board members, the process will conclude and the Clayton County Court of Common Pleas will appoint and fill the Region 4 vacancy, not the school board members. Board members, do we have a consensus on this? Manny, Bill, do we have a consensus on that?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Why does, we could continue to look for a candidate if we don't get one that we elected. As I recall, what the statute says is, we can keep doing it until there's a petition by 10 voters to have the court appoint someone. Is that correct or not?
No, you're absolutely correct. But this is to end this process for the Region 4. If we are unable to come to a consensus this evening, a majority of 4 votes. That's what the question is for the consensus. After we revote and revote and revote, if there's no 4 board members that will vote for one candidate, the consensus is that we are just going to stop and let the common pleas court take over.
If I could, I'm sorry for
No, please.
interjecting here. The court will only take over if petitioned by 10 or more members from the constituency. If there aren't 10 or more members, it's still on the board
Right.
to work through, whether that's asking for more applications, coming back, meeting in another day. It's still in the board's responsibility until such time as 10 members from that constituency petition the court.
Right. I am not going to speak on the law or legalities of the common pleas court, but basically, if the school board members fail to make a consensus of 4 votes for one of these candidates, it will go to the Court of Common Pleas.
Not necessary.
Then it is up to the individuals to have a petition signed, give it to the courts, and then the court decides. So this is a consensus. If we do not come to agreement today, this ends here. If we come to an agreement today, it ends here. That is the consensus.
That is not, I am not part of that consensus. I don't think that is what is called for in the statute. I think we should follow the statute as we should in other things. And if we don't if we don't choose someone tonight, we keep looking and trying unless someone petitions the court. That's my opinion. I think you are incorrect with the way you're proceeding, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Bill. Do we have a consensus? All those in favor say yes? Yes?
Yes.
Opposed?
No.
Okay. Consensus.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute my mic. That was a no for me.
I'm so sorry, Manny. What did you say again, please?
I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute my mic fast enough, but that was a no for me. I agree with Mr. Baldino. We should do it the way we were doing it before, and if we don't come to an agreement today, we just keep searching until someone petitions the court, because that's how it's written out. So.
And I didn't answer, so I agree.
Okay.
I call for a voice vote.
Okay. So the motion is,
Yeah,
if the board cannot come to a consensus of 4 board members voting for one of these 3 candidates today, after repeated votes, the process will conclude and the board will reapply. The board will allow applicants from Region 4 to reapply for the board vacancy.
when is the 30 days up? Our 30-day window.
Tomorrow.
So-
Actually, today is the last day.
Today's the last day.
Mhm.
So if this doesn't happen tonight, it goes to the court, correct?
Only if petitioned.
No.
Right, it has to be petitioned, and you could have 20 people have 10 signatures each, and then the court decides.
But yes, and until that time, the board still may proceed with an election or an appointment
Right.
process.
Okay,
So that's the motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Debate.
I say no to that.
Well, no, here's an opportunity to voice any debate that you have regarding the motion.
Well,
Is there any debate?
I again repeat, I think we should follow the statute. There's no need for a motion. There's no need for any other action. We can
Right.
try to pick someone tonight. We may, or we may not. If we do not, I don't think we should be trying to reinvent the wheel. Follow the statute. We keep trying until one of two things happens. We find someone or there's a petition to the court and they appoint someone.
Any other discussion, debate? Yes, John.
I'm just sitting here thinking, this is I believe to be our second go round with District 4 seat. If we keep continuing going on and on, every time we go on, we're costing our taxpayers more and more money
That's true.
for advertisement in the papers, for man hours, people setting everything up. Our time that we could be doing other things that need done, we just keep dragging it on.
Okay.
But I do understand if we don't have a vote, we don't have a vote. But as of the end of today, it can go over to the court, the candidates can petition, and they can get selected by the court.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But this dragging it on, costing us more, the taxpayers, not just us, costing more and more and more money. I mean, we had 2 rounds now. If other people out there wanted to apply, they should have applied by now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to add to this debate discussion, please?
I I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, all I was going to say was, I understand that we're trying to get someone, but we have it written down on how it's supposed to be done. We can't just do what we want to do. I agree with Mr. Baldino. Just let it go the way it should be going. We'll try to pick someone tonight. Hopefully we can. And if it doesn't happen, well, we'll keep trying until it happens.
Thank you, May. Bill, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. Unless I misread the statute, it's not a matter of candidates petitioning. It's voters petitioning to have the court appoint someone. Frank, do you know, am I correct at that?
That is correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's correct.
So the point is, maybe it'll go there, maybe it won't. And as for spending money, I'm sorry. I believe in financial, I campaigned on fiscal restraint, so I believe in it. But sometimes you have to spend money. If we don't find a candidate that we want, then if it costs us a little money, that's part of the game. It's a shame. We have to do it.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Are you completed? Okay, thank you. I will add this. I did talk to the solicitor about this when he reviewed the procedures and approved them. And he did offer this. This is what the motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed, and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. So he has offered that. A motion could be made if we can't come to a tie. That's what, if we can't come to a consensus. So that motion could be made if we can't come to a consensus. So we have a motion on the table right now. Is the debate finished?
Oh, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. There was a little Wi-Fi problem there. Could you repeat what you said about what the solicitor said?
Yes. He said a motion could be made for this. The motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed, and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, my opinion with that is it's one of those things where he said something to say something. We don't need to do that. It's automatic. We don't need a motion, and it will do nothing to aid the solution of the problem.
Okay. Secretary Christine, could you please, I'm so sorry, is the debate closed, please? Okay, thank you. Christine, could you read the motion, please?
I'm not really sure 100%
Okay.
what it is.
I'll write it down.
Are you writing a book?
Well, I'm being much more descriptive, so we can get rid of that motion and start over. Would you like me to read out of Robert's rules how to get rid of that motion? Okay, I guess that's a yes. So please.
Seriously? Yeah. Elizabeth, don't you go with, if nobody seconds it, then the motion just fails.
Well, yes, but
That's.
if you're fine with that, otherwise I was gonna read it out of Robert's rules, but
I'd say if nobody seconds it, the motion fails. And then you move on to the next one.
That was that
Okay.
phone call.
People-
Or if somebody does second it, then you do a roll call vote.
we can't, the motion was not written down. Okay, so
Okay,
there's no way to exactly state it the way it was presented. So we have to get rid of it,
okay.
okay? So
Then ask for a second, and if it fails, then it just fails.
I can't ask for a second without repeating the motion.
I think John already, you seconded it already.
seconded it.
Mhm.
It's already been
It's already been
seconded.
seconded, so it's up for a vote.
It's just up for a roll call vote then. If John seconded it, all you have to do is tell Christine what your original motion was.
I don't have the exact words. It wasn't written down. That's the problem. So we have to get rid of the motion.
And I agree with Elizabeth. The motion has to be reread before it can be voted on.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't remember what it was. you
Not
made the
verbatim.
motion. Okay,
It was my fault. I should have probably written it down. I should not have depended on Christine. It was
Okay.
unfair to her, so I own it. My fault, and I'm so sorry. Okay?
Elizabeth, I believe you can withdraw your motion.
mm-hmm.
Yes, but I was gonna, okay, if everyone has a consensus that they're comfortable with that and they don't want me to read it directly out of Robert's rules. Okay. I withdraw the motion. Okay. Motion. Mm. I move the board continue voting until a tie is broken and one candidate will be the Region 4 representative. If the board fails to appoint a Region 4 representative tonight, the motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed. and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Debate. It's open
Again,
for,
I state that I don't think that's a necessary, action by this body, and, it would be redundant.
is there anyone else for debate? Debate is closed. We have a motion and a second. The board will continue voting until a tie is broken and one candidate will be the Region 4 representative if the board fails to appoint a Region 4 representative tonight. The motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed, and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
No,
Ms. Bohart,
No.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Mr. Scap,
No.
3 yeses, 3 nos.
We have a tie vote.
the motion fails.
Not necessarily. Just a minute, please. I move to allow members to reconsider their positions, to break the tie between 3 yeses and 3 nos. For the board to move the board continue voting until a tie is broken and one candidate will be the Region 4 representative. If the board fails to appoint a Region 4 representative tonight, the motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed, and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Debate open. Anyone for debate? Debate closed. We have a motion and a second for the board to reconsider to continue voting until a tie is broken and one candidate will be the Region 4 representative. If the board fails to appoint a Region 4 representative tonight, the motion to fill the Region 4 vacancy has failed, and the taxpayers are now free to petition the Court of Common Pleas to appoint a representative to fill the vacancy. Final vote. Roll call, please.
Dr. Baldino,
No,
Ms. Bohart,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
This is getting redundant. No, from what I understand, no. This is getting a little confusing.
All right, motion fails.
I didn't get Mr. Scap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Motion fails. So to proceed, we have to have some sort of consensus here. We have to have some sort of consensus. We're going to have motions on the floor. If there's a tie, I'm going to give everyone another chance to vote. So how many times do you want to keep voting until you want this to be a failed?
Elizabeth, I don't think we need to decide this ahead of time. That's something that someone can move to end the process if we get frustrated.
Okay.
I think
Sorry. You're absolutely correct, Bill, but after what we just went through, I don't want to be rude to our audience and the candidates. So we would have some sort of timeline here, but if we just want to go ahead and proceed, that's okay. All right? See how it goes. Thank you. I move the board appoint the Region 4 School Board Director from the pool of eligible candidates, Kevin Ferrara, Jason Smith, and Heather Yost. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call, and each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so. And if a tie vote occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to revote until one candidate gains the majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's statement of financial interest form. Is there a second?
I second it.
It is moved and seconded the board appoint the Region 4 school board director from the pool of eligible candidates. Kevin Farrar, Jason Smith, and Heather Yost. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call. Each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so, and if a tie occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to revote until one candidate gains the majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's statement of financial interest form. The floor is open to board debate. Would you like to talk about any of your candidates or anything, please, about this motion? Debate is closed. It is moved and seconded the board appoint the Region 4 school board director from the pool of eligible candidates, Kevin Farrar, Jason Smith, and Heather Yost. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call. Each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so. And if a tie vote occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to revote until one candidate gains the majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's statement of financial interest form. All members, you will be called upon to state the full name of the person you want to fill the Region 4 vacancy. Vacancy is filled after one candidate receives 4 or more votes. Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
The most cogent thing I've heard said tonight was from young Mr. Wolf, I believe that was his name, to remember that this is about education. All three candidates have strengths. They're all impressive, but not a single one mentioned anything about education and the student.
Excuse me, Mr. Bill Baldino. Okay, debate was closed.
I'm not debating, I am defining why I'm going to vote the way I am going to vote.
Okay, thank you for clarification.
My vote is present. I don't want to vote for any of these candidates because I think we can do better.
Ms. Bohartz,
Kevin Farrar,
Ms. Lynch,
Kevin Farrar,
Mr. Miller,
Kevin Farrar.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Jason Smith.
Mr. Scaff,
Jason Smith.
Mr. Farrar has 3 and Mr. Smith has 2.
and one abstention, I guess.
I'm sorry.
No, so that's good. Thank you. Yes, we have 3 for Kevin Farrar, 2 for Jason Smith. No majority is reached. As of right now, as I had read earlier, that the 2 top candidates will move forward and Heather Yost is no longer a candidate. I'm sorry, Heather. Thank you so much. Thank you. The board will now only vote on the 2 candidates remaining, Kevin Farrar and Jason Smith. I move the board appoint the Region 4 School Board Director from the pool of eligible candidates, Kevin Farrar and Jason Smith. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call. Each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so. And if a tie vote occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to revote until one candidate gains a majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's statement of financial interest form. Is there a second?
I second.
It is moved and seconded. The board appoint the Region 4 School Board Director from the pool of eligible candidates, Kevin Ferrara and Jason Smith. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call. Each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so. And if a tie vote occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to revote until one candidate gains a majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee's statement of financial interest form. The floor is open to board member debate on one of these two candidates.
Are we allowed to ask them questions or not?
No.
Okay,
Question, no, sorry.
Okay.
This is between us to discuss the different candidates.
okay.
If you have anything you would like to say about your candidate or a different candidate, please do so. Yes, John.
With the current situation and stuff going on with this district, right now we have 3 new members on the board. We have some very important stuff coming up. Kevin Ferrara could take the seat with the experience he has, hit the ground running and not have to go through the learning process that everybody else already is. We have some major things coming up. With the military, he has experience in the financing, lots of experience with team building, team working, lots of experience in health and safety, lots of experience in researching. He could step right into that seat and we could keep rolling. I'm done.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please, Chris.
This board and our entire school district has so much division because of 2 different groups of opinions. It's been going on forever. Jason Smith does not belong to either group. I've done my research. He doesn't comment on either group. He's stayed neutral of everything. And my phone's been dinging while we've been sitting here. And I have an overwhelming bunch of people that are saying Jason from my district. I actually had 9 for Jason, 2 for Kevin, and 6 for Heather. That's the dings I've gotten. I have to go with what my constituents are saying. And the fact that there's so much controversy already, I would welcome somebody that is not a controversial person, is deeply involved in his church and community, and has no opinion either way. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to go around the floor first. Is there anyone else who hasn't had a chance to speak first, please, during the debate? Discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Manny, you have the floor. Please take your time.
All right. John, I agree with you. I do believe that Mr. Ferrara has a lot of experience. I also, I also kind of like where Jason Smith is coming from, but just like Mr. Scaff said, I have to listen to the people I represent, and most of the people that I represent want me to vote a different way, unfortunately, and I have to listen to them because they're here in my area and I represent them. And that was one of the questions that we would ask some of these candidates. That's what one of the questions you asked me is, how would I represent my constituents? Would I go around talking to them and stuff, which I did. I went around on foot talking to people. I visited schools, talked to teacher. I just got to listen to what they're telling me. So I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to round 2 Shelby, do you have anything?
I've listened to my constituents that have come to talk to me from both political parties, and I've voted where I've been more so told from them in my region.
Okay. You done? Thank you. Okay. I'm going to make a comment. As someone that has been neutral in this entire process, to the best of my ability, I've been on the board. I was appointed in April 2019. I feel one of the greatest assets a board member can bring to this table is data, evaluation, understanding numbers. When something doesn't seem right, how to ask a relevant question. I do not make my decision based on people's feelings. I listen, I'm considerate, and I think about what they say. So far, since this whole process started, I have not had one person, not one, speak against Kevin Farrar, not one. Now, I'm not sure why that is, why one person has this, other people speaking about that person to that person. I swear on a stack of Bibles, I have had so much support from people talking to me in the grocery store, on the phone, for Kevin Farrar. This is what they told me. They said, I want someone to go in there and ask the tough questions. And they said, I know Kevin has, quote, a reputation. And I'm glad people are out there like that, because that's what the Constitution is about. Asking questions and finding out the truth. So again, I have not had one constituent come to me except, why is this taking so long? And why didn't you just vote Kevin in the first place? And I swear on a stack of Bibles, that is the honest to God truth. So, my debate time is up. You want to go second, please? This is your second debate. Everyone gets 2 turns.
I agree with what Manny and Chris have said about their people, their constituents coming to them and saying, not Kevin Farrar, not Kevin Farrar. But we had this conversation 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, when we had a petition that went around, and it said on the petition, people in your area have to sign, or people in your area, or whatever. Our main goal here is the kids.
That's right.
The kids, the school, the whole thing. But then we have our constituents. Okay? How can somebody, whatever Mr. Scaff just said over there, 6 or 9 people, determine who is going to take a seat in a district that's how far away from them and have nothing to do with taking care of their constituents when they have nothing to do with that seat? I mean, I listen, just like they say, I listen to my constituents. And like you said, not a word about Mr. Farrar being bad or whatever the word is you want to do. But as far as a school board member, taking care of my constituents, it's my constituents in my district. Not someone that lives, just an example, not somebody that lives in Loganton going to sit there and control what happens in Woolrich because, I heard bad things, I don't like him. Your constituents are your constituents in your area, not throughout the whole Commonwealth here.
Okay.
I'm done.
Thank you. Yes, Chris.
My people from Loganton and Sugar Valley still have a voice. Just as equal as anybody else.
Yes, please.
And John, for you to say their voice don't count because they're not over here is
Okay,
not
this
right.
this isn't a personal
Okay.
debate. Please, Chris, please speak about
4
your
of the
candidate.
people that contacted me were students. I think we have 2 very capable candidates here, both with a lot of business sense, both with a lot of common sense, both with a lot of sense that would do the job.
Mhm.
My big thing is the local community involvement and the fact that he's a neutral person. That's it. We're not picking sides.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for the debate? Oh, I'm sorry, we can only speak twice unless
Okay.
we want to do 3 rounds, but they have to have a
No,
chance.
let's get this vote done.
Okay, before we go, anyone, Bill or Manny, before we close debate, do you have any other further comments?
I'll reiterate my previous comments. Neither of them, I think they're both impressive people, but I'm concerned about the orientation of this board now. I think that people have forgotten that, I think there's some people that have forgotten that what we're here for is to provide an education for our students. Neither of them mentioned education at all. I'm not happy. And I think we can do better.
Okay, thank you, Bill. All right, debate is closed. It is moved and seconded the board appoint the Region 4 School Board Director from the pool of eligible candidates, Kevin Ferrara and Jason Smith. Appointment effective January 29th, 2026. The vote will be by voice roll call. Each member shall state their preferred candidate when called to do so, and if a tie vote occurs, a reasonable amount of time will be allowed to re-vote until one candidate gains the majority of the votes. The appointee will be sworn in after the school board secretary receives the appointee statement of financial interest. All members, you'll be called upon to state the full name of the person you want to fill the Region 4 vacancy. Vacancy is filled after one candidate acquires 4 or more votes. Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
Present.
And what did he say?
Present.
Present?
uh,
8. Okay,
just keep going on.
yes, he can say what, go. He doesn't want to, go ahead, please.
Ms. Bohartz,
Kevin Farrar,
Ms. Lynch,
Kevin Farrar,
Mr. Miller,
Kevin Farrar.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Jason Smith.
Mr. Scaff.
Jason Smith.
Mr. Farrar has 3 and Mr. Smith has 2.
okay, thank you. Tie vote.
No,
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
3-2. Mr. Farrar has
Oh, I'm
3.
so sorry, okay, wait, I wrote this wrong down. All right, so please repeat that, I'm so sorry.
Mr. Farrar has 3 and Mr. Smith has 2.
Okay. Yep. It's still a failed vote. Farrar has 3, Smith has 2.
I move to terminate this procedure.
We have a motion on the floor to terminate this procedure. Do we have a second?
Second.
Debate, please. Yes, John, sorry.
I don't appreciate sitting here and having words put in my mouth. I never once said there was people that their voice don't matter. I never said that. That is words on the public camera being put in my mouth.
Okay.
And it never happened.
Thank you, John. This is in regards to the motion on the floor to, what was the word? Not terminate, but
Yeah, let's terminate.
terminate.
Procedure.
Yeah, floor to terminate the procedure. We have a first and second debate. Anyone else for debate? Yes, John. Oh, I'm sorry, you already spoke once. Anyone else for debate? Okay, I will say something then. If you move and you have to have 4 votes, okay, for this to pass, so we all understand that. Now, here's the thing, that if you have 4 votes to pass this motion, then we are left with either starting the whole process over again or letting the Common Court of Pleas take over. Now, as the board president, I don't feel comfortable leaving this room tonight unless there is a consensus on what the next step will be. And that will require 4 people to agree, minimum, to have a consensus. So, I'm not sure how long you folks want to stay here. when we have so many other priorities going on. But again, I do not feel comfortable leaving this room tonight until the board will have a consensus, if this motion passes, how they want to proceed next.
Point of order.
Yes, please.
There is
Bill?
a motion, there is a motion on the floor. It has been seconded. A vote is required.
Yes, we're in the,
If if the motion is carried, this procedure is finished. There is no other discussion, debate, or anything else that should be done at this meeting.
thank you, Bill. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any more debate? Yes, John?
The 30 days that we have to follow is up today. So with that being said, can we go through the whole process again, or just does it have to go to the courts? These guys say they want a motion to end this process tonight. But then they say, oh, we shouldn't go to the courts, we should reapply, we should just, you got to either want it to go to the courts, you got to want to pick somebody tonight. All we're doing is spending money.
Anyone else for debate, please?
Yes, I'm afraid that that is not quite correct. We have 30 days in which we have the privilege of doing this, period. After that, we can continue this until we find a candidate, unless 10 voters from the region petition the court to appoint someone. So we don't have to go to the court now if we don't pass something tonight.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Chris, please.
I understand John is frustrated. We all are. But I'm not going to be forced to change a vote on a candidate. If it has to go to the court, that's what happens. I said my thought on who my constituents are asking for. Kids involved also, seniors at least. One senior wanted the candidate that is not here. I have to do what they ask.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you. Anyone else for debate? Okay, my round two. Oh, sorry, go ahead, John.
This has been going on for a couple of weeks now. We're on our second round. If somebody was fully committed, Mr. Baldino says about till we find the right candidate. We're on our second round. There's been plenty of advertisement, plenty of time for people to sign up, to apply. What makes you think we're going to spend the money? What makes you think we're even going to find anybody else, or anybody else is even going to apply? We can't go out and handpick somebody. They haven't applied for 2 weeks. What makes you think they're going to apply now?
Okay, thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you. I'll take my second to debate, please. Now, here's my question on the motion. Now, this is the way I'm understanding the motion. The motion on the floor is to terminate the procedure. Now, as far as I'm concerned, what this motion means is we are terminating the Region 4 vacancy appointment. And that means it's going to the courts. That's the way I'm understanding this vote.
That is not what I intended.
Okay, well, please, it'll have to be clarified then.
What would you like for Claire? What I'm saying is we can keep going around and end up with whatever it was, 3-2 votes for as long as it goes. We don't need a consensus about what to do. You call for some kind of a consensus. We don't need anything like that. What I'm saying is, why don't we just admit that right now we can't come to what's required, a majority of the board members supporting one candidate, and move on, see what we want to do in the future.
Thank you, Bill. So again, did you want to clarify the motion before we vote on it? Because my understanding of what the procedure is apparently is not what you intended.
Fine, by, I will clarify my motion. I move that we terminate voting and adjourn the meeting.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a second. We have to vote on the original motion, okay? Or it has to be terminated. Bill, we have your motion on the floor and seconded, the first one. Do you want to proceed with the vote and have it, or terminate your, take back your motion? The motion on the floor was to terminate the procedure.
All right, okay. I move to withdraw my motion.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor to take off the first motion that Bill made, motion to terminate the procedure. Do I have a second?
He just withdrew his.
Oh, we
He
did?
just withdrew.
Oh, I thought he said he made a motion.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Bill, for the clarification.
What's the new motion?
Okay, the new motion. Motion on the floor is to terminate the voting procedure and adjourn the meeting.
Second.
We have a second. Debate. No debate? Debate is closed. The motion on the floor is to terminate the voting procedure and adjourn the meeting. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
Ye- Yes, did you hear me, Christine? I'm sorry.
yes, thank you. Ms. Bohart,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
No.
Mr. Miller,
Absolutely not.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Scaff.
Yes.
4 yeses, 2 nos.
Motion passes. Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.